Hi everyone, welcome to Turner Classic Movies. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Tonight we're featuring movies set in Italy, and up next a movie set in a fictional Italian village featuring a fully non-fictional Italian sex symbol. From United Artists in 1968, it's Buona Sera, Mrs. Campbell. The sex symbol is Gina Lollobrigida, who had been named the most beautiful woman in the world in 1955. 13 years later, she was probably ninth. She had also become a talented actress. Lollobrigida plays Carla Campbell, a widow with a secret. Some might call it a lie. In the story, she's been collecting child support for the last 20 years from 3 different Americans with whom she was intimate when their unit was stationed in Italy during World War II. The money has been put to good use. She's giving her daughter a quality education, but the scam is about to fall apart. The 3 men and their wives are coming back to the village for a 20-year reunion. The men are played by Phil Silvers, Peter Lawford, and Telly Savalas. Their wives are Shelley Winters, Marion Moses, and Lee Grant. Buona Sera, Mrs. Campbell was directed and co-written by Melvin Frank, who with his partner Norman Panama co-wrote a number of memorable classic films, including My Favorite Blonde, Mr. Blandings Builds His Dream House, White Christmas, and The Court Jester. In Buona Sera, Mrs. Campbell, Frank resists the temptation to make a simplistic sex farce. This is a pretty sophisticated comedy, which does not in any way shy away from what was a racy premise in 1968, that a woman had been intimate with 3 different men in a short period of time 20 years earlier. I suspect that it was during the war, and that she was Italian made it more palatable to many traditional moviegoers. From 1968, also with Janet Margolin and Naomi Stevens, Buona Sera, Mrs. Campbell. For her work in Buona Sera, Mrs. Campbell, Gina Lollobrigida earned a Donatello Award, the Italian equivalent of the Oscar. At roughly the same time, Lollobrigida started focusing her talents on photojournalism, even landing an exclusive and coveted interview with Cuban leader Fidel Castro. For other women in the cast, Buona Sera, Mrs. Campbell led to a conflict. Shelley Winters and Lee Grant got into an argument on the set, and then they did not speak for 5 years. Now, they'd had fights before, big ones, including Grant chasing Winters around the Playboy Club and calling her a word you definitely can't say on television. But they made up. Winters later called Grant a wonderful acting teacher and director, adding, "She tells the truth even when she could lie." Lee Grant has led a life worth knowing, and her memoir, I Said Yes to Everything, should be on every classic movie fan's reading list. Up next, we return to Rome for a fairy tale romance that introduced Audrey Hepburn to the world.